Hi everyone, I hope your day is going well. I'm going to show you how to recreate this income statement that you can find in section 2.4. I'll show you how to create it on Excel. All right, so I'm going to start off with my who, what, when, as always, for all kinds of financial statements. So who, what is what statement this is, and when. When's for an income statement will be a period of time because it is recording all of the operations of a business over potentially a month, a year, or whatever the case is that you're creating your income statement for. So generally month, sometimes it's a quarter, other times it's a year. We're going to title the first section revenues, and we're going to type in service fees, other, and then total revenues. Now, generally, an income statement is going to have two columns. The first column is going to be the subtotaling column, and the second column is going to be where the actual totals are. So I'm going to maybe add a little more space here. The service fees were 30,000, and the other revenue was 2,000. So now we have a total of 32,000, which I'm going to calculate here on the outer column. And of course, we're using our formulas or functions to add things up instead of entering the value of 30 to ourselves. So that's the first section. The second one is expenses. I think it's called operating expenses. And here we had advertising, equipment repairs, internet, and phone, salaries, supplies expense, and total operating expenses. Now, just like I said for this revenue section, the expenses are the same. We do our subtotaling in here and we just put a final value out here. So 1,400, 1,000, 200, 12,000, and 600 were each of my expenses. And so I'm going to do a sum function here. Remember, you could just go, this plus this plus this and pick each cell individually as well if you want. So now I have a total revenue of 32,000, total expenses of 15,000. And since my revenues exceed my expenses, I know that I'm going to have a net profit. So I'm going to use a formula again, equals this minus this. So my revenue of 32,000 minus my expenses of 15,000 equals a net profit of 18,000. And I'm going to move this over because I guess I didn't end up using those columns. I'm going to merge and center like I did last time to make it look a little prettier. So merge across keeps it in 3 individual rows, and then center it over here. And I need to put dollar signs and underlines. So I'm going to start with my underlines. Because these two things were subtotal to get this answer, I'm going to put an underline there. These were subtotaled to get this answer. And then these two, one was subtracted from the other to get this answer. And then this one should have a top and double bottom. So I'm going to put a double bottom, top and double bottom. There we go. I know in some of the data shown in D2L and the examples and the solutions, there isn't always a double underline there. There should be a double underline at the bottom of your final value, okay? And the dollar sign rule applies just like it did in the balance sheet. So the first number of each column, and then after any underline. This value is underneath a line here, so it gets a dollar sign. This value is underneath that line there, so it gets a dollar sign. I'm going to select them all at the same time by pressing down and holding the control button. And I'm going to go here to the dollar signs. And I'm going to get rid of the decimals. Okay, and then I'm going to have to add commas here because these ones have commas. Because remember, you want to be consistent with your formatting of your values. So let's go, I guess, number. We'll have to format it and use the comma separator. And I don't want any decimal places. There we go. Okay, and so that's that. If you want to make it a little prettier, we can maybe add a space here. I can insert a row. I can make these headers bold so it stands out a little bit. And that's it. That's how you create a income statement on Excel.